All right, folks, it is Monday night. It is time for another live Q&A. And as always, welcome. We are going to answer all of your drone questions. Any other questions you may have, just put them in the chat and then I will try to answer them. We have Jason who's back. He's in the back room. He's filtering through the questions. We have the whole production team back there right now, making sure everything is good as we go live. And yeah. It's another Monday full of pollen, which means that I have allergies, which means that we'll see how far we go. But yeah, the almost 80-degree weather that's in the schedule for the end of the week is not going to help. It's been in the 70s here, and all the stuff is blooming everywhere, and it's nice. But holy crap, the pollen is not nice. Anyways, let's say hi to a bunch of folks, and then we can get the party started. Engineer Drone Services, that's our friend Minot. He said 70 degrees today in Boston. Look at that. Richard Hooker, Dr. Gonstead, we have Dave DeVore, James Cox, Jillian, our own Jillian from the community, Jason Williams, Just Johnny, Old Deadeye, Eric Ruffschneider, Alexander Blankenship, we have Joshua Kamen, Anoke Boomer, Paul Guidice, Drone Tycoon, Leo de Cardenas is here, Drone Eagle, Aki Fan, we have Thorold Inspired, Flying Calypso, Cozy Drone, Jim Schlusserman, Minnesota Vance. I see all these names are all familiar, so welcome back to all of you. Velo Visions, we have Scott, Premier Aerial Images, Pro Agronomics is here. Danny Mooseberger. We have Chris Altvader. We have RJ as well. Roadkill Ron is here, Jeff SAV, Glenn Gill, our friend Glenn from Texas at the moment. We have DJ Andreas, and who else? Fire Chief is here, Mark Saxon, Cloud Camper, JJ Johnson from Toronto, DJ Andreas, I think I said that already. Flying Elvis Filmworks is here, James Van Boeven, our friend from the community and from everywhere. We have Flying Calypso. Tom in Gulf Breeze. I don't think I've seen that name before. Welcome. Winslow Joy. Who else? Cyberpunk. Dwayne Thompson. Crafty is also here. Sir Ian Moon is here. And Zaid is here. We have Drone Bee Media. I think I'm getting to the end of the list. STL Woodworker. 125 Blackjack. Andy Dibert. All right. Wow, I was able to go through everybody on the list. And yes, we are at a slightly different time if you're joining, because you all changed time, but we didn't. It's still 4 o'clock. We always do this at 4 o'clock here. Arizona time, which at the moment happens to be Pacific time. It was in Mountain Time last week, but we are always in MST. We're always in Mountain Standard Time here in Arizona. We don't do daylight savings. Thank the gods of Arizona for that. Lawmakers, whoever they were, whoever did this, somebody did something good there. So we don't change time, which is awesome. So for all of you, I don't know, what is it like? It's darker now where they are, right? It gets darker at night when you change time. I don't even remember. I don't know. I did this for 30 years of my life. You'd think I'd know. But yeah. Anyways. Good stuff. So I'm going to be sniffling because of my allergies at the moment. Okay, let's go and get started. I see some questions already. Starting with Paul says, do you have any information on the upcoming DJI Avata 360? When will it be available? I do have information, but I'm not allowed to share it. So. You have the information. I sent it to you. It's in the production email. Don't go hacking our email. It's in email. So that's all I can say. What is needed to operate in Class C airspace aside from authorization? Old Part 107 exam asks for a VO. Wait, what? No. A VO was never required to operate in Class C airspace. There's nothing else other than there's no specific requirement to operate in Class C other than getting airspace approval. But yeah, that's it. On the METAR, what does this mean? Ooh, that's a good one. I'm trying to remember what VP stands for. It's runway 6. Runway 6, 4,000 to 6,000 feet. I don't remember what VP stands for. I will find out shortly. Runway visual range. So that's when the runway is limited, ranging from 4,000 feet up to 6,000 feet. So it's, yeah. But I don't remember what the VP vertical, oh, well, it's variable. Oh, okay, that's what it is. So it's V for variable and then P for more than. So that's when they put together. That I have never seen that one before. I've seen the runway label, and it just means that the visibility is really bad and you shouldn't be flying. That's really what it means. But that's a good one. That's a good catch. Saw a story being okay. Let's do that again. Saw a story of drones being tested to help deal with an armed intruder in schools using pepper balls, and the option to ram. Is this a good use of law enforcement? Yeah, it's a tough one. So I think it's a great idea, but you're gonna have to deploy obviously quickly, and you're gonna have to make sure that no doors are closed in order to deploy a drone, because drones don't open doors. So if you're the bad guy, you can easily probably hide from this. But if you're in the open where one of these drones is and somebody can deploy it quickly, it's kind of like a kamikaze drone, if you want. I've seen the concept. Then I think it's viable. It's just another option. It's sad that we have to get to talking about this in schools, but sadly, it's the reality of things today, I guess. Flight limitations for first responders compared to Part 107. So it depends on how they operate. If first responders operate under Part 107, then they're going to be limited just like everybody else, but they have the ability to operate under Part 91 using it's called a COW. Now it used to be called a COA, certificate of waiver. And under the COW, they're allowed to apply for, just like you would under Part 107 with waivers, they're allowed to apply for beyond visual line of sight. So it's on a case-by-case basis, but by default, those that operate under Part 107 have the same limitations that you have because they follow the same rules. I'm getting a small Hover Air X1 selfie drone. It is tiny. I want to use it for YouTube, which means Part 107. It does not have remote ID on board. Are there any tiny remote ID modules available? Not really a lot of tiny per se. There are some pretty small ones that would definitely fit on that kind of drone. But yeah, there's nothing that I've seen at least that's very, very tiny. I think I'm not going to remember the name of it, but the one that we have on there, Jason is probably going to be able to help in the comments. The one that we have on our wow, yeah, my brain is foggy. What's the one we just got from DJI? The Neo 2. There you go. Whew. The one that we have on the Neo 2 right now is fairly small. Okay. Pew. Yeah. Yeah, and my eyes are super dry because of the medication, which is apparently not working really well. Or just a Zyrtec, but I think it makes my eyes dry. I have to keep doing drops all day. If I buy a DJI Mini 5 in Europe, can I bring it back to the United States and fly it? Didn't we post a video today on that?
Not quite. Talking about the short.
Oh, the short. Oh, yeah, okay. The short is not there yet.
We're posting some post-flight shorts, but maybe just cut a short. We have 3 shorts
Yeah.
now that will go over this stuff.
Okay, yeah, we have 3 shorts coming out. I'm still going to answer the question, but we have 3 shorts coming out on this topic. The answer is, if you buy a drone outside of the United States, I highly recommend that you make sure that it has the FCC sticker in the battery compartment. And when I say that, it's painful to read those stickers because they're very, very, very tiny, and it's not like it's a sticker with a logo necessarily. Although some of them do have the FCC logo in there, but um, some of the drones that we have seen on in our fleet, the FCC logo is just text that says this device complies with Part 15, I think, of the Code of Federal Regulation. Blah blah blah. So I think we have examples in the short. Um,
Very fine print. We
very
have
fine
to use
print.
probe lens to show it.
Yeah, very very fine prints in there. So, but in any event, I would recommend that if you purchase one of those, that you make sure that it has the sticker. It's not because the drone is approved to fly in the United States, the drone model is approved to fly in the United States, that your drone specifically has been approved to fly. Your drone, the specific device, has been approved. So, um, it's nitpicky if you ask, but it will cover your bacon in case something happens. That's all I'm going to say. So, does 3 statute mile still apply if drone is flown in the backyard? Yep, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter where you fly, 3 statute mile visibility. What's a good drone for search and rescue that can have a payload to drop a life jacket? I would recommend looking at obviously DJI platform. You've got the Matrice 300. You've got, I think the Matrice 30 probably has enough payload to do it as well. It all depends on the limitations that you have right now on purchasing DJI equipment. There are larger drones that will do the job as well. I would recommend that you look into FreeFly as well. It's a larger, much larger platform. They have a larger one and a smaller one that can do the job with a dropper. So again, it all depends on what limitations you have and what budget you have as well. The FreeFly is a US made drone. It's going to be larger and a bit more expensive. And then the DJI obviously is DJI. Is there any problem buying a Mini 5 from the non-Amazon seller on Amazon? I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know what non-Amazon seller means, because if you're on Amazon selling, I guess it means that you approve unless you're buying from an individual. I didn't think Amazon did that anymore. But there's always risk, but you're always protected with DJIs, with Amazon. So I don't know. If it doesn't work, just ask for a refund and say that the product wasn't as described, and then you're good. So did you see the latest Avata video tease? I have not. Avata 360 video tease. I have not seen it. But I've also been on my computer all day doing other stuff. Why do you think DJI removed the altitude zones? I don't know the official reason why DJI removed those zones, but I have a guess. And my guess is that DJI was being accused of all sorts of things, saying that they can geofence any drone anytime. So they basically said, well, fine, we'll just get rid of geofencing. And it did. So that would be my guess. I think DJI officially denies that answer. But yeah, there you have it. People were complaining about this all the time, the geofencing. So I'm looking at the deep dive courses now, but are the Mini 5 Pro batteries the same as the Mini 3 and Mini 3 Pro? Well, I don't remember. The Mini, I don't remember. I don't remember. Sorry. I know it's the same as the 4, but I don't remember if the 4 is the same as the 3. I don't think so. Jason will be able to answer that. Those are the little details that over time my brain just does not store. And even though we've flown these drones, but I just don't remember. No question today. Just a big shout out to Greg and Pilot Institute team for helping me pass my 107. About 30 minutes ago, 97. That's awesome, Mike. Congratulations. Happy we could help. Okay. So Jason says they are not the same. Okay. Yeah, the 4 and the 5 I think are the same, but not the 4 and the 3. I'm going to be doing real estate photography. Can you send me a letter for HOA Karens saying that I can fly? This reminds me of Parks and Rec with Ron going and having his piece of paper that says, "I do whatever I want." That's kind of the same thing. Uh, let's flip this on its head. Okay, let's ask the HOA to provide you with a document that states that you are not allowed to fly. You should not have to prove to non-law enforcement that you can do what you do. They should be the ones coming up that cite the proper regulation. Um, Everything is allowed unless it's not, right? So sometimes it's a lot easier for, uh, I mean, there's nothing that I can cite to you in the regulation that says you're allowed to fly. I can cite what says you're not allowed to fly here and you're not allowed to do this. That's usually what regulation does. But there's no regulation that says you can fly your drone anywhere except for this. It doesn't work like that. So if you see HOA a-holes, and it's funny, by the way, a-holes is pretty much all the letters that are in HOA. Is that how they came up with the acronym? Sorry if any of you are on HOA boards. No offense, but ugh. Yeah, let's let them tell you why you can't fly, and then after that you can tell them to pound sand. Pound sand. There you go. Is it possible to share my screen from the DJI RC2 so that clients can see? So the RC2, I think the RC2 is the one with the screen. So yes, there is a. Actually, I'm going to verify. Again, these are the little details that over time I forget. Let me just check real quick. Oh no, it does not have a HDMI port. I think if I remember correctly, we tested that you can, if you have a USB-C adapter that has an HDMI port to it, I'm pretty sure you are able to broadcast to another device using that. So it's a HDMI HDMI to USB-C adapter, and then you should be able to do that. Again, Jason will be able to. I shouldn't have Jason here to answer some of these questions. I just don't remember. Apologize, I don't remember all the details. What I'm studying, would you recommend spending the money on a drone simulator to get better at flying? Hardware, software recommendation? Not necessarily. I would say if you have a DJI drone, by the way, it comes with a simulator, so you can download the sim on your phone or on your iPad, and then you can basically plug in your controller to your device and then fly it that way. That would be my recommendation. Actually, I think you can do it on the computer too. That would be my recommendation because it's free and it's right there, basically. Yep, USB-C to HDMI adapter on the RC2, confirmed by several people. Being that I live in a rural area, which is class Gulf airspace, according to the Air Data UAV app, what advantages would the Part 107 do for my situation? In class Gulf, not much. If you want, I mean, obviously 107 is going to be required if you do anything non-recreational. But if you're flying for recreational purposes in class Gulf airspace, 107 is not going to do very much of anything. If you want to fly in controlled airspace, you can still do it without a Part 107. The advantage of 107 is being able to fly in controlled airspace above grid numbers if you request an airspace, an airspace authorization. But yeah, otherwise, if you're just doing non-recreational stuff, probably not required at all. If I fly at one of the small outdoor concerts that we have, but I never have the drone over the people and I stay on the outer sides, will that be okay? Yes, just keep in mind that if you're at a concert, it is possible that they will not let you take off and land from the land, the property that they control, which they have the authority to do. You would have to fly from outside of the concert. I don't recommend flying drones near concerts just because it's disruptive. If there is any security going on, it could be stressing them out, thinking that this is a threat. So I don't know. I a lot of people plus drones, especially right now, probably not a great idea unless you do it very quickly and fly away really far away from people. This is when having that 6x 7x on those Mavic drones that have it, or even a 3x, is the perfect opportunity. You can fly from a quarter mile away from the venue, take off, zoom in, do your shots, get what you need, and then never be seen and never be in the way of anybody else. Yeah. So, what's the biggest mistake you still see experienced Part 107 pilots making today? Good question. I would say probably an over reliance on overconfidence in their platform. And I see this, by the way, not with just Part 107 pilots, but I see this with manned aircraft pilots as well. As soon as they get a little bit more flight hours, they and nothing has happened to them ever or in a while, then they just become complacent. And as you become complacent, you pay less attention. And I'm certainly, when I fly my drone, I feel like I'm sometimes there. I have to catch myself being yeah, overly confident that nothing is going to happen. But it's not a good state of mind. So you have to remind yourself that just like your first flight, you got to be on it. Something can fail. You got to keep an eye on your surrounding, and an aircraft can enter your airspace at any time. So yeah, that's what I would say. Yeah, airspace violation is another good one, says Vic in the chat. And I think that's also part of this, is just people thinking, well, I can just fly my drone wherever. Checking your TFRs before you fly is super important, because those can pop at any time. And yeah, I would be careful with that. My Mini 4 Pro is registered and over 250 grams. Okay. I don't have Part 107. Am I still good to fly? Yes. Since it's over 250, does that put the drone in a different class or need certificates of flight? No. You can fly recreationally any drones of any weight, as long as you meet the requirements of flying recreationally, and then that you've done trust, and that you have a CBO picked out, and that you stay under 400 feet, that you get airspace approval, all of that stuff. So as long as you follow all the rules of 49 USC 44809, then you're good to go, even if the drone is over 250. The under 250, the only thing that it does, it means that you don't have to register the drone if the drone is less than 250 grams. But anything over that, it just means that you register the drone, which you have, and then you're good to go. Just fly recreationally and have fun. Do you think people will try to import DJI drones into the US that don't have the FCC approval? Yes, 100%, such as the Mini 6, Mavic 5, when they're released. Oh, yeah, 100%. There will be a massive black market of drones coming into the United States, because let's face it, CBP is, I doubt, will have the manpower to check everything. Do they have the ability to check every box right now that comes into the country that's shipped from overseas? I doubt it. And a drone is a drone is a drone. So is a drone going to become contraband, that when they scan a drone and they see a drone, they're going to open the box and look at what it is? I highly doubt it. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'm wrong, but I foresee a massive black market for DJI drones, people going out of the country, buying drones, bringing it back and flying it, because let's face it, I don't blame them. This FCC ban is absolute bullshit. We know it. And yeah, and people will continue doing what they do. I read that there's a new DJI update, will we be able to download it in the US? Yes, at the moment, there's no restrictions on updates, firmware updates, software updates in the United States. There's a plan for potentially stopping those in January of 2027. but I don't really see what that would accomplish. But again, I don't always understand everything our government does. So who the hell knows? Um, oh, I'm struggling here. I've seen multiple posts of operators flying far distance claiming VLOS because they can see their drone, their strobe at night. Yeah, that's BS. I think it's worth mentioning again that this isn't legal VLOS. Yes, it is not legal VLOS to see a dot on the horizon in the distance. 107.31 is very clear on visual line of sight and what you can and cannot do. And it's more than seeing the drone. It's the ability to see attitude, altitude, direction of flight, and everything else on your drone. So flying at night, the distance for keeping line of sight becomes very, very small. How do we get Pilot Institute stickers? I'm guessing you're talking about those registration stickers. It would be on pilotinstitute.com/free. Also, we've been inundated with requests for stickers. And so it took us a while, but we're finally caught up as of this morning. You should have seen the pile that went out the door in the last week or so. Hundreds, like probably 500, actually, maybe even more than 500 envelopes that went out. Actually, yes, far more than 500 envelopes. So if you've been waiting for your stickers, we apologize. It's been yeah, we don't have a full-time person who does that. We have a part-time person who does that, and they got overwhelmed. So you have it. Can you fly the DJI Neo 2 over people? Can you fly the DJI Neo 2 over people? Yes, as long as you have a Part 107 certificate, as long as you have remote ID, so you need a module on top of it, then yes, it is a Category 1 drone, but you need Part 107. You cannot operate over people without a Part 107, and you need to have remote ID. So, yep. Is there a list of approved drones for America now that DJI is out? Let's be clear, DJI is not out. You can still buy old models. Future models of DJI will not be allowed in the United States, but current models are still available and legal to fly as a private owner. So as far as an approved drone, a list, not really. I mean, it's just anything that's essentially not a future model of DJI is approved. So that's kind of the list. Neo 2 has no remote ID. That is correct. Neo 2 does not have remote ID because it's a sub 250 gram. So this is kind of the weird thing, right? When the FAA made the rules with remote ID, they forced drone manufacturers to add remote ID to all drones that are over 250 grams, but not the drones that are sub 250, because if it's flown recreationally, it doesn't have to have remote ID. So they decided not to force those manufacturers to add remote ID to small drones. So DJI, when they make a Mini or Neo or a Flip or whatever, they don't add remote ID. But if you're flying under Part 107, you have to have remote ID. It's required because you have to register the drone. And so it creates this issue where you just have to have a module on top. It sucks. And no, I know people are saying, well, why don't you have remote ID that can be turned on or off? Well, that's against the law. The FAA doesn't, or the regulation, the FAA does not want remote ID to be an on-off thing. It's either on or it's not on the drone at all. So you have it. Why did I get hit with a $560 tariff when we shipped on our drone to the US? Oh, that's Skybrows. It's Bobby. Well, you got hit by a tariff because tariffs are very popular right now in our government. And when people purchase items outside the United States, if there's a tariff on that country, then the folks that receive and purchase the item, unlike some believe, is paid by the consumer. So we've been hit ourselves with things that we've purchased outside the country. And when it gets here, then you have to pay a tariff that is paid by the consumer, not by the country that ships it. Will the FAA be able to verify if the drone is banned or not? The FAA doesn't really care about that. The FAA doesn't really care about that. You can register a drone and call it whatever you want. You can say that the drone does not have a serial number, because if you home build your drone, which we have a couple that we've built, they don't have serial number. So the FAA doesn't know what drone is registered. They just know that a drone is registered, unless you put a brand and everything in there. But yeah. Thank you for doing the stickers. I have to believe that you have far exceeded the number that you committed to. Yes, I would say. I don't know what the latest is. Jason kind of keep track of those numbers, but last I checked, I think it was 70,000 stickers that we did. We were going to do 10,000 stickers initially. For those of you that don't know, this started as a how am I going to say this? As a public campaign to help people realize that registration cost was $5 for 3 years and was only to be done at the FAA website. And the reason that we did this is because pretty much weekly back then, we had people calling us, emailing us, telling us that they just paid $60 for registration. And so what was going on is that there were people trying to confuse people with where the drone should be registered. So some companies would buy domain names that look very much like the FAA website and then offer a service. Sometimes it was a real service, sometimes it wasn't, where you would put all your information and then they would give you stickers, which the FAA does not do. And then they would charge you for said stickers like $12 or so. And then they would charge you for $60 to register the drone. And then there you go. You were on your merry way, when you could have done this for $5 and then use a little label maker to make your own sticker. So we decided to combat this because I really did not like this. By the way, the person that was on the other end, I don't know where they are now, because I'm pretty sure these websites have completely disappeared. I think partially because of us. I'll take some of the credit for that. But this person was not happy with us doing that. And they did some very shady things. But the bottom line is they're gone. I think I have hardly heard like maybe one or two people in the last couple months that said they paid more than $5. We took ads, by the way. We paid ads out of our own pocket to give something for free to people. So the cost was even more than anything else, so that we could combat these people. And like I said, I think again we got and we got to do a good deed for the community. We got to provide stickers, and so. Yeah, we were going to do 10,000, and then we decided to continue doing it because people loved it. We see those stickers on drones everywhere. Sometimes we go to shows and we look around, and sometimes some of the drone manufacturers have our stickers on their demo drones at the trade shows, which is really cool. And we kept doing it. So I don't know how many years it's been now. It's been definitely several years that we've done this. But like I said, we've done a lot of these stickers, and we're going to continue doing more of these stickers. And by the way, when I say stickers, it's a board of 4 stickers. So you multiply that number by 4, and that's how many stickers we've issued. And that's how many customers I think actually we've helped, more than just because sometimes we send 3 stickers per 3 sets of 4 stickers per box. So that's 12 stickers potentially times 70,000. So yeah, it's been a lot of stickers. 75,000, says Jason. 4 years we've done that. So yeah, good stuff. And over time we've added stickers for remote ID compliance, which none of the manufacturers are doing themselves when they need to. They're required by law. We don't have to provide these stickers, but we do, so that you can put it on your drone and say that it's compliant, so that you are compliant with the regulation. Anyways, I'll get off. Yep, 4 sets of Pilot Institute stickers of different colors, and then 4 remote ID stickers. And I tell you, knock on wood, It's still the same printer that we've used, and it was an expensive printer. It's a professional sticker printer that we purchased to do this, and it's still doing awesome. It's still doing awesome. So I think it's an Epson. So kudos to Epson. You could send us a new one. We wouldn't hate it to help us with providing this free service. If anybody works for Epson, let us know. Okay. Why do you think the Neo 2 has remote ID in other countries and it's not activated in the US? That's basically what I said earlier. It's because the regulation does not require it. But it definitely has it. I remember the original Neo, I think, when I turned it on in our building, it didn't have GPS and it said remote ID active. And I was kind of excited. I was like, well, they actually included remote ID. But turns out it was still in another country, I think China probably, and it hadn't picked up the signal that it was in the US yet. So, okay. Whew. What do we have? Can I fly at night with the proper lights as a recreational flyer? Yes, as long as you have a light visible from 3 statute miles on top of your drone, then you can fly at night, and as long as you follow all the other rules that you follow during the day. Yes, yes. Has there ever been an answer as to what a modified Mini 3, Mini 3 Pro, and Mini 4 Pro for classification? Yes, I think you're referring to a declaration of compliance that is on the FAA website regarding a modified Mini 3 Pro. What's happened is, I think a company, I don't know their name, I don't know if it's public or not, but I don't know their name. They created a modified Mini 3 and then they applied for that as a type to the FAA to get category approval. I think that's what happened. But I've seen it on the DOC as well. What's up?
Hey, so we need some more questions, but in the meantime, we have one of those shorts.
Okay.
On the FCC sticker that somebody asked about.
Okay.
Amy's gonna run a test, see if we can play it right.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah.
So we may get a little bit of video interference for a second, but we'll play that and then we can get some more questions.
All right. So I don't know if you heard what Ben said, but we have a short that we're getting ready to push, but we're going to play it here for the FCC stuff because I think it's important information. So you'll be able to see it. Maybe. Tell me when you're ready.
In the meantime, let's see if we can get some more questions.
Yep. In the meantime, more questions. Does the FAA treat further coordination requests just like a waiver application in the terms of wanting 90 days in advance of mission? They are asking for 90 days in advance, but it takes them a lot less time than that. And it's not technically a waiver. It's still an authorization. But yes, they are asking that you do it in advance. I would say a couple days in advance at the very, very least. But more is better. I'm losing my voice. I woke up this morning and my voice was not doing good. And yeah. And then man, my eyes are killing me right now. Ben needs a microphone. They have a microphone back there. They have a camera and a microphone back there. He's just not using it. When is Pilot Institute going to make an FOI course? Guess what? It's scripted, and we just need to get on camera. That's fundamental of instructing. And yeah, I'm hoping we can get it done. Q1 is coming to an end. In Q3, probably publish with all the stuff, but I don't know. I don't know if people realize how many courses we have in the pipeline at the same time right now, and the amount of resources and people that are working on these courses. It's literally a team of over 20 people that are working on courses pretty much on a regular basis. And so, yeah, it's a matter of putting it and fitting it in our big matrix of all the things that we do. And that's not just courses. We produce a lot of content for social media. If you follow us on social media, you know this. Short content, long form content, and all that. Okay, and let me know when you're ready, and then we'll play the short.
Yeah, we're doing it live.
But the short of it, is it's in the pipeline. It's definitely in there, and we hope to get it done soon. Are you ready?
be able to see you too.
Oh, cool.
Happens if you fly a drone illegally in the United States? Well, right now, the most popular consumer drones have FCC approval, but that's likely going to change. As certain foreign manufacturers release models only outside the United States, pilots will be tempted to buy the drones abroad that were never approved in the United States. But what happens if you bring one of those drones back to the US and fly it? Well, first, CBP can actually seize the drone at the border. It does not matter how much you paid for it. And if it's not FCC compliant, they can actually take it. Second, the FCC can impose monetary penalties known as forfeitures. These are civil fines and typically they're not small. And third, there may be criminal exposure on top of all of that, but the extent of that is kind of unknown at the moment. This is not some hypothetical future scenario. This is going to become a real issue for pilots very soon.
Just like that. So, yep.
There might be some more questions.
There might be more questions with that. So, question says, do you have the Don't Be That Guy shirt with pockets? We don't. Not a model that we carry. I don't know about hats. I don't think it would fit on hats. But yeah. Other questions? Ooh, sorry. Struggling again. Any more questions? Put them in the comments. If we don't have more questions, I know it's the first day after we change time, so I expect we'll have fewer questions because we have fewer people. But nope, Jillian, it's not a not yet. It's a not. We will not carry shirts with pockets. It adds, airlines, the most popular airlines for a long time, they only flew one type of aircraft. Still today, a lot of airlines only fly one type of aircraft because it's a lot easier on maintenance. It's a lot easier on parts, on everything. And this is the same for us. We try to keep the number of shirts to a minimum so that we don't have to have big inventory, so that we can turn around quickly and do these shirts more efficiently. We do all the shirts. And yes, Greg hates shirt with pockets, so it doesn't help at all. So how do you guys store your equipment inside of a vehicle? I'm guessing you're asking about heat, maybe? Or we have cases, of course, for all the equipment when we travel. Hard cases, we got a lot of hard cases over the years. And as far as heat, it's difficult. So we try to not leave it exposed as much as we can when we go places and try to take it inside. So if we travel, we take it in a hotel room and leave it there unless we need it. So yeah, it's a kind of a balance. If you're on the road and you're flying from your car, from your vehicle, I would recommend some sort of a portable AC unit that you can plug in to keep your car cool without it running. Some of them now, they have them where, they're portable and you can plug them in into an external power pack and run them that way. Especially a car, it doesn't have to be, very fancy. But yeah, that would be my recommendation. I'm guessing that's what you're asking. Jillian is making fun of our lava lamp. She said, I forgot to turn on my lava lamp when I see one. It takes a while. When did we turn it on?
Like 1:32?
I think we can get a plug for it that will turn it on the schedule. Yeah, it takes at least 3 hours for this thing to warm up. It's also gigantic. I don't think you guys can see. I'm going to show my shorts. But... That's how big that lava lamp is, which is cray cray. It's the biggest lava lamp that I could find online because it's in the background, so it's really big. But and now people know that we're not on a green screen. Anyways, any more questions? Question on the exam: a guy wire, okay, a guy wire about distance from base. What is the distance? 1,000 feet, 1,500, 2,500. Ooh, was that a question on the actual exam? There's no standard for guy wires that I know of. Yeah, I don't know. You're gonna have to tell me more about that question because guy wires are all dependent on the size of the tower.
What about girl wires?
Yeah, different, different, wider. What do you think about Michigan House Bill 5319 5332 for the Shield Law package? I can't say that I've seen that one. Or if I have, I don't remember right now. I don't think. Is that a new one or is that the one that we talked about a while back? There's one that we talked about a while back, but I think Ben, you did the news update on that one when I was gone somewhere.
I don't remember the code.
Yeah, I don't remember the code either. Yeah, there's just to be fair, it's just so many of these stupid laws now to keep track of them. I'm gonna build an app to keep track of that stuff. That's what I should do. Actually, I'm gonna add that to my tracker. I'm building a tracker right now for FAA regulation. I'm gonna add that to that. Yeah. Vic says true, but I don't know what he says true to. Depends on the height of the tower. Yeah, that's what I'm saying as well. Um, yep. Anyways, sorry. Uh, question. No. Is that lava lamp? If that lava lamp was a drone, would it weigh too much to qualify for operation under Part 107? No, it's not 55 pounds. It's not light. It's made of glass and it's got oil in it. But it's definitely not 55 pounds. Good question.
I've picked up that lava lamp before, and I'm pretty sure it's 75 pounds.
Yeah, you've picked up that lava lamp, and I've been really afraid. Ben has a bad history of breaking glass things.
That was only 2 times last year.
Two, two, two times. I remember one. What was the second one?
I mean, it was 1 time.
Yeah, I know there was a trophy that was really expensive that ended up in pieces. Not Reese's pieces, just regular pieces. Ben's pieces. And I don't remember what was the other one?
It was the Mavic 3 Cine, wasn't it?
No. I don't remember with
Anything else?
I don't yeah. You did crash a drone. Yep. There's footage of it. I don't think those lamps are water filled. I'm pretty sure Jillian told me they were oil filled. And Jillian is part of the big lava lamp conglomerate, so she would knows. Yeah, she knows. She's connected in lava. She'll tell us what the true is. But I've been told. I'm repeating things I've been told. I'm pretty sure Jillian told me because she said you can make your own. Anyways, would you send out stickers for foreign operator ID as opposed to FAA numbers? No, we can't, and I'll tell you why. It's not that I don't want to. It's that the system that we use to generate stickers verifies sticker numbers based on formatting of the numbers, and it's a semi-fully automated process. And as such, if we put anything else in there than a FA3 number, then it doesn't work. And so that would screw up the whole system. We have the spacing done to be done well for these specific numbers. And yeah, it's complicated. Jillian says it's a mix of water and glycerin. Whee! Mostly water. Very connected with big lava. I knew it. And then the lava is a wax and some chemicals that help it move. Look at that. I mean, I know why it moves because of heat, but and lava is wax and some kidding, blah, blah, blah. Finally, something that I'm an expert in. There you go. Okay. I still have a question regarding the anti-gravity 360. Seeing how you have a 360 view of your surrounding, would it be a great tool for visual observer as long as you don't go above 400 feet? It would be aided vision, which is against the FAA regulation. They specifically mention that it has to be naked eye, basically, other than your corrective lenses. So no, it would not give you. I mean, certainly helps with having a better idea of what's going around you, what's going on around you, but it's not a replacement for visual line of sight. And I'll tell you something else. If you've ever used a 360 camera, everything that's close to the camera is good and sharp and right there. But as soon as you step a little bit away from those cameras, it all of a sudden feels like it's forever away. It's optics, right? It's all based on a very wide angle, so it would not really help you see an aircraft coming in the distance. I think it would look like a tiny little dot. Actually, we have to do testing on that, but from my experience with 360 cameras, it would just be too far. These cameras are really designed to be action cameras for stuff that's going on really close. And the anti-gravity 360 and eventually the Avata 360, when that thing comes out, if it comes out, it's going to be the same thing. You're going to have to be pretty close to the object, to the subject, in order to get some cool action shots. I think it's not a fly at 400 feet kind of thing. It's going to be more you fly at 50 feet kind of thing to get interesting footage. Let's put it this way. I still have, okay, I just answered that. Okay, more questions, put them in here. Every aircraft needs EC, electronic conspicuity, in and out. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, in is optional depending on who the pilot is and what equipment they want, but out, yeah, everybody needs to be visible. There's no question there. So say your visual line of sight is blocked by a tree line, you could easily fly over it. Yeah, but that does not qualify as visual line of sight, unfortunately. Whew. All right. We've got 8 minutes to go. If we don't have any more questions, I'm going to end a little bit early because I'm not feeling great. But otherwise, yeah, we still have the Don't Be That Guy shirt. We've shipped. There's going to be a significant quantity of these shirts out in the public, and I hope we can turn the trend of being that guy with them. But thank you all to those that have gotten the shirt. I think we shipped all of them so far. So if you have not received yours, unless you bought it in the last couple of days, if you have not received yours, make sure you let us know if you ordered one. But yeah, we've got some cool stuff around the corner coming out. We just released a deep dive on the parachute, so it's a free course. If you have never operated with a parachute, you might learn a thing or two if you want to do it, or if you just want to be interested in this. And like I said, we've got some in-person training that we're starting to create information pages for, because they're going to release starting when the weather is nicer, which the weather is awesome already. We waited to release these because we thought the weather was going to be horrible this winter, and as it turns out, we could have been offering all those for the last 2 or 3 months. But yeah, good stuff around the corner. We'll be in touch, and then I think some of these videos are going to come out pretty soon, the shorts on the channel. So if you're not subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button and get all that stuff. One more question. What do you think about First Amendment drone auditors? Just curious. I don't know what that is.
What do you think about drones being protected by the First Amendment?
Well, the First Amendment is a right to the people, not to equipment. So, yeah. I'd need more information. Can I get one of those shirts in gray? We don't do gray shirts because the logo does not look great on gray. We've tried, but we have a white shirt. It looks a little bit better. But the darker shirt seems to be more popular. But the gray doesn't do well with our logo. It kind of blends in. It's between a dark color and a light color, and it's difficult to make the logo look good. So that's kind of where we're at. All right, we'll end it here. Thank you for watching. Hopefully next week we have less pollen and I don't have to talk out of my nose. But Yeah, we'll see you on Friday for news updates, and we'll see you in the premium community if you have the subscription. And that's it. Thanks for watching.